Hello folks. Well, my last video only got 3 views, but I was gonna kind of wait a while and see if more people would watch it before making another one, but fuck it, I'll just keep going. Seems totally random. It's like based on, I guess, when I upload it, a bunch of people will either see it or not see it. So like the video before got like 10 views in an hour almost, and that was, I guess, because I uploaded it in the middle of the day. I think probably because I uploaded it during the middle of a work day, and everybody's like, that's probably the best time because people need some diversion from their capitalist slavery. But yeah, then I did another one, but I uploaded it in the middle of the night, and so it got no views. But anyway, whatever. Well, I just wanted to brief interlude to just show my local, the Silicon Valley paper, which is just over the hill, and so a lot of people here read it. Mercury News. They have something about the ancient Egyptian Rosicrucian garden and museum and everything, which has like the most mummies west of the Mississippi. That's over in San Jose. I've gone there a lot of times throughout my life, but they're not. The people that work there are not very open-minded, even though the Rosicrucian Grandmaster is open-minded to my work. But anyway, I was just also going to show this headline because, this is something that I had known for a while, but they weren't telling people. And, well, my nails are gnarly, but don't pay attention. California's non-COVID death rate increases. The state has experienced nearly 20% more fatalities since 2020. 20% increase in mortality, the largest sustained spike in more than a century. So, and it's not from COVID, or it's not, COVID doesn't explain it. So there you go. It's written by Harriet Blair Rowan, so probably an Ulster Scot like me. Probably related to like the Blairs of Francis Preston Blair, maybe. I don't know. That's like that's another major Ulster Scot family, like the Rowans and the Campbells and Millars, which are my family names. So anyway, that's interesting that they're actually saying that in the mainstream. But see, I was showing this at the end of my last video, but now I again lost the thing that I need to like compare it. So I'll just set that aside. I was gonna just revisit it real quick, but so I'm dealing with this map largely right now, just the 5,500-year-old Hirakampolitan Tomb 100 map, and so it's over 5,000, or I mean over 1,000 years older than the other maps, which are about 4,000 years old. The Books of Two Ways is basically the original Book of Ways. So I've been cracking it, like figuring out what the different gods are on here. So, like this is America. This is, it's from with west as up. So north is this way, south is this way. This is South America, North America. The Isthmus of Panama is either this or this. And this is the Gulf of Mexico. This is Florida. This is Baja California. And this is some kind of peninsula that used to be there, apparently. Probably like the islands off Santiago, Chile. It used to be like, when the sea level was much lower, 400 feet lower, 10,000 years ago. That was probably dry land. So this, I'm thinking, oh wait, no. Fuck. This I'm thinking is that this guy, or no, this guy might be this, and that if so, this might be his head. Like that thing right there is kind of like a pointy beak or something. So I'm not sure. I don't know if that's, I guess that's the Virgin Islands. I don't know if it's the US or British Virgin Islands. But anyway, I think that's the neck and the head of this critter there. And so this is Britain, Ireland, the Faroes, and Shetland. So, you know, Britain here is holding Ireland, which is represented by 3 captives who are basically Ulster, Connacht, and Munster. And so it took me a while to figure out who the hell these were. I was thinking maybe this would be, like at one point I decided maybe this would represent Iceland and this would represent the Faroes. Although at first I was more looking in, you know, southwest of there because, you know, where it's situated vis-a-vis him, it would make it seem like this is something southwest of Ireland, like both of these are southwest of Ireland, but clearly their placement on the map is not literal in that way. You know, it's stylized in that sense. So it takes into account their location on the globe, but it also takes into account their position within the kind of probably the overall story that's being told through these figures. There might be kind of an overall tale that goes start to finish, or at least a lot of interaction between the different land masses. So, you know, this one is like, you know, this is his club that he's holding is the Outer Hebrides, and it seems that his arm, which goes down like this, is just this, which is, I'm not sure what the name is for that kind of peninsula, and then Orkney right here, the Orkney Isles, which Orkney is where the oldest you know, Stonehenge type stuff in Britain is. Like, well before Stonehenge, there were like megalithic stone circles in Orkney. So anyway, so it's stylized in the sense that this arm is not actually the one holding this club, which is the Outer Hebrides. But yeah. And then this, his arm that holds Ulster seems to be Argyll right there. So that's like his shoulder, shortish upper arm right here, and then longer forearm, you know, elbow, and then longer forearm. So that's like that part there. And so yeah, this part seems to be the head of Ulster, and then this part right here that sticks out seems to be Ulster's hand, one of his hands, and then this part here seems to be part of the, you know, rope or whatever that's holding these guys. And then, yeah, you have Connacht, and I do kind of see like a head there, and either a shoulder or an arm or something there, and maybe another shoulder here. Then Munster with kind of maybe a shoulder here and a head here. And, you know, it's hard to know exactly, like, where would Munster's legs be, because it might be, you know, very specific into all the details, or it might be a bit stylized in that respect. But anyway, so for these guys, Shetland and Faroes. So Shetland is right here. You can just see the bottom tip of Shetland right there. So it's a bunch of islands clustered together, but it's probably mainly one or two big islands. And then Faroes is just a bit further north from that, a little northwest of that. So, you know, that's one of the traditional routes to America that, like, you know, Plutarch and stuff talked about was, and what the Norse, that was the Norse route as well, was just island hopping from Scotland to Greenland to America. I mean, Greenland is basically America. It's like an American island. It's considered an American island because it's really right next to Canada. And then, yeah, so this guy, it's like, it's a bit weird. Like, I could tell, unfortunately, this doesn't show his whole body, but that's because this is the only image, you know, because the original map was destroyed by the Egyptian government, by the Egyptologists and the Cairo Museum, probably Zawi Hawass. So all we have is all these photographs of all these things, and this is the only zoom in on this area that's this good. So, but unfortunately, it only catches this much. It doesn't have the other part of this guy. But you can see at least, like, his front leg here is out front, and his back leg is, like, you know, and they're both kind of like conical legs in a way, or they kind of taper down to a point a bit towards the foot. And he has an elbow going back, so that's like this thing. And I guess this is his head, and it seems like his Heka staff here is I mean, it could represent this. This could be the Heka staff, or it could be like this whole thing. So I'm not quite sure. Might be all this, or it could be that. And then this guy, I could tell by just looking at him that he seems to just be like really an archipelago of like disparate islands. But so that's what made me think to check if he corresponds to the Faroes. And so, you know, it's very stylized, but this is like this leg. So it's, or seems to be, you know, it kind of goes down from this side and then tapers down, and then that's the foot, I guess. And then this other leg is just this island there, which is, you know, smaller a bit, but, you know, roughly that shape. And then his elbow, back elbow, is this thing. And then this looks like maybe his arm, but it probably is also like his, basically his Heka staff. And the staffs may be quite symbolic, so because a lot of these figures have Heka staffs, so I don't know that it's not necessarily meant to be something that looks exactly like this. I think a Heka staff has a more metaphorical meaning that way, or a broader meaning. Heka means, you know, it's what's translated as magic, but basically all this is what magic is. You know, like if you understand anything I'm telling you, then you're now a magician. So I'm sorry, I know everybody wants magic to be like the cover story of like, oh yeah, there's our real guys and they're jumping around and they're magic and they do things. No, magic is for meta-minded people that know how to, you know, operate within symbolism and appreciate symbolism. And that's why 99% of humanity doesn't understand magic or Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this is what actual magic is. It doesn't turn you into a newt, but if you want to travel anywhere, if you want to understand the sky, if you want to know anything about anything, then it's your friend. But since nowadays people don't want to know anything about anything, they just want to escape into some feeling, then they will be pissed to find out that magic is not a feeling or some like, you know, some like anti-nature thing or supernatural thing or whatever. I mean, it's supernatural in the sense that it's a superstructure of ideas built on the base, on the foundation of nature. So it's meant to explain nature. But modern ideas of religion and magic are against science, against nature. So they're exactly the opposite of actual science, of actual religion and actual magic, which is what all science is based on originally, alchemy. So anyway, there you go. And then, yeah, that's about it for those ones. And maybe on this one, you can see this guy a little better. So you can even see that his knee is bent a little bit. So that's this part in Cornwall or whatever, or Devon or somewhere. And then this leg is bent a little too. So that's like probably this indentation here. And this could even be like that foot might be like this part here. And this foot is that part. And there's his butt cheeks, which they don't actually show on here. And so, yeah, now I'm really thinking this, like, whales basically is his, like, harness there to hold his Irish captives by. And then this part underneath his shoulder is probably, yeah, I'm not sure if it relates to this or this bay here or what. It's still a little confusing. Oh yeah, and then this guy, he has this thing sticking out there. I forgot about that. So that's obviously this. Yeah. So I'm glad I finally figured out that one. It took me a minute to figure out Shetland and Faroes. I was like, let's see, what is this? Okay, so this is the Bahamas. So, you know, you can see the circle and then these type of, you know, goat looking islands around with like horns. There's one there, there's one here with horns, there's one here with horns. There's arguably this one, I don't know if it might be underwater, but it's basically the same shape. And there's actually a bunch more in the whole area. So I'm not sure which all are these ones or if it just symbolizes all the islands in that kind of archipelago of the Bahamas. Hard to know. But it seems like this is the kind of, you know, ancient famous whirlpool in the ocean, which turns the ocean and turns the sky. Because this really is, you know, basically where all the Gulf Stream current and everything comes from, because there's so much seamounts near the surface that when water goes over that, it heats it up really fast because it's so close to the surface, and the you know, these seamounts probably are warmer than like the lower depths or whatever. So, and all the weird contours, I think, contribute to all these crazy storms that like destroy Florida every year. But they also create probably the Gulf Stream, which keeps the British Isles warm and you know, provides an easy way to sail to America from West Africa. So this one I'm pretty sure about, that this guy is this, and that maybe his horns are like some kind of seamounts here or something. And he has a little tail there. and that this guy, I'm not sure if his face is this thing or that he's like, he has one knee up, and then I guess that's, yeah, I don't know. There's a chance that I'm somehow wrong about, especially, yeah. I'm not as sure about this as I am about like the others that I'm showing, but chances are there's a very good chance that is the correct identification. This is Madeira. So I think I might have already shown something of this, but you know, this Desertus Islands and Madeira. So like I was saying, they use it to tell a story. So they're willing to move things around to facilitate the story. So this is a spear that's trying to spear this deer or elk or whatever the hell he is. And, or yeah, I don't know. Not an animal expert really, but in this version, it already hit him. So he's like, and probably a lot of the things in ancient cave paintings from like 40,000 years ago or 30,000, you know, yeah, basically going back 40,000 years or more, probably a lot of those animals, which include things like this, like deer with like spears sticking out of them and stuff, that people often interpret as just hunting, you know, records. And some are astute enough to suggest they are constellations, which I'm sure some of them are, but a lot of them also may be this, maybe land and water and whatnot, topography, geography represented zoomorphically. Oh yeah, this is that one. I'll save that. Yeah, so this is the Bahamas. So all the goats are, you know, I mean, it has 5, but potentially there's like 6 or 7 if you count all these, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd say at least those 6 are pretty solid goats. But yeah, so who knows if that 5 number in the avatar is meant to be specific, or if it's just to represent that there's a bunch of goat islands that are like thin with kind of horns at one end. And I'm not sure if where this is represented, it might be the thing that I was thinking Jamaica was, because it certainly deserves its own avatar. So this is the Azores. I'm not sure. Oh shit. This is not right. Uploaded the wrong one, I guess. I don't know. That's not the right one. I mean, this is right for this figure and this figure, but not for these two. These are actually, this thing is this, so that should be right there. But there's another island that's this guy, and this guy is not related, even though there should be an avatar for him because he's a big ass island right there. But there doesn't seem to be any avatar for him actually, except in my imagination there. This one I guess I already showed. You know, and it really does show how the shape of these boats does directly reflect, or can directly reflect, the shape of the, you know, the land masses that they are portraying. You know, Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands. This is the one that I was thinking could be Britain's face. That it could be like, this is his nose, this is his chin, this is his mouth, this is his kind of brow. Because it's, you know, around the area, like north of his shoulder, I guess, north of Argyll. Yeah. So anyway. And let me just see what else is on here that I'm missing. See, yeah, those are all those goats or whatever they are, horned animals. Another horned animal. And this is very good and plausible identification for those. These are from the Canary Islands, so I'm not sure which is what. Maybe this is Grand Canary, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure those are in the Canaries. And the Bahamas. Come on, pretty mamas. Let's see. This thing. New Zealand. Land of the Kiwis. And here's like another view of Bahamas with these different kind of goat-like islands in it, or, you know, islands that look like horned animals. You know, they're all like long with some kind of appendage at one end that seems like potential horns. This is it again. So yeah, these are like the horns. This are their bodies. Horn, body, horn, body, horn, body, horn, body, horn, body, horn, body. So, you know, I know there's a lot of really literal minded people that will just look at that and be like, those aren't animals. Yeah. Good job. Go tell that to your astronomy professor. Be like, there's no Orion in the sky. You people are all dumb. Orion is fake news. So this also just shows more of these. Cat Island, Eleuthera Island, Abaco Island, Grand Bahama, Long Island. And by at least one claim, like, is that the Bahamas means like land close to the surface or something like that, that the name is some Spanish name for like seamounts or something, or shallow water. Oh yeah, so this is in West Africa. So this is just off the coast of West Africa in Guinea-Bissau. So there's Caravella, which means like a boat or something, and Carache, and Porcos is the horns here. And Caravella doesn't have a head really, it just kind of is that vague little thing. And yeah, so that's like kind of the entrance to Africa. And it's a beautiful archipelago there. And see if I got anything else going on here. Yeah, I can't believe I put the wrong one by accident of this. I got to delete this mistake, and I'll show the right one next time. But this is, at least these two are the right ones. So this is him and this is her. So this is like his nose, and this is like where there, I don't know. And then the way it's like, it's kind of goes up to a weird angle at the top. That's like right there. And then yeah, this one is actually this thing right here, this orange part or whatever. And then this one is not there. And then this thing is something that is not picture that I have to show. Let's see, this one. Well, this was showing where it says Finn McCool, the giant, throwing his hand, red hand of Ulster. So this hand, he might be Britain itself, and this arm is Argyll, with its little stumpy wrist at Campbelltown. And then the hand could either be like Rathlin or something else. And then, oh yeah, I just wanted to compare really quickly these just to show, like this one is better for showing its overall shape, but this just shows that this is the 4,000-year-old Antarctica, and this is the 5,500-year-old one, and they both have these weird squiggly lines down here. And now I'm thinking actually those lines might be like maybe this squiggle is this island here, and this squiggle is like one or both of these islands. Hard to know for sure. And same with this. I mean, this squiggle here is shaped like that island. It starts like that, curls there, and curls there. So chances are that's what that is. And then this is either one or both of these. So then his body, yeah, it's, you know, it's hard to know exactly what his body is. If it's, you know, this could be his, both his pole, like basically the South Pole that he's holding, and it could maybe also be his body. It's hard to know really what his like midsection is or what that is. Maybe this could be his body and this is his head. How about that? This is the little part here somehow. Who freaking knows? It's very stylized, but it's pretty cool. So that just shows, because when I saw the like 4,000-year-old one, I thought maybe it was just damage. I'm like, why does it just have these squiggles here? But knowing this tradition, I figured it was probably deliberate. But now finding him in the 5,500-year-old map really confirms that these are deliberate squiggles. And, you know, it's probably he's deliberately headless in this one for some reason, because it's just from a different perspective. And anyway, so yeah, I'll leave it at that, and thank you very much. I'll try to find the correct one for the Azores next time and not this bullshit. But yeah, anyway, thanks a lot and have a good one.